Hello, everyone.
Hello
Welcome.
and welcome back.
Yes, yes. So before we get started today, so we don't forget, I'm just going to open space. And it's just a quick open space. It's really not a lot. It's certainly not what it is if I'm if I'm doing a meditation or we're intuiting or,
We're
some
doing
of
a
those,
clearing.
oh, definitely not same as with the clearing. Yeah, very well. So, again, Mari-Lyn likes to remind everyone, if you're driving,
Yes.
it's okay to open space and get grounded while you're driving. Just make sure you're really present and you're driving and you're paying attention. And really, if you're doing anything other than just sitting here listening, except for maybe doing the dishes or something, but
Well, unless you have a knife in your hand.
Oh yeah, that too. Yes. Yes. So
Yeah. But during the opening space, during that time of getting grounded, if you're doing something, tune it out. You're still going to receive it.
yes.
You're still part of that opening of space, of that high energy. Yeah.
And allow yourself to get grounded and stay present. And
yes.
so because really a car, being in the car, you can get ungrounded so fast, and spirit comes in. FYI, when you're driving around your car, all your guides are piled in there with you, and they're just hanging out with you in the car. So I'm surprised there's not more accidents than there actually are out there in the road. I really am. I'm surprised not like bumper cars out there, because people get in their cars and they immediately get ungrounded, and it's really ugly.
I'm going to say Michael and, his troops are really busy.
Yeah, yes.
Archangel Michael.
Yes.
And his troops. They're really busy.
Very
They're
busy.
really busy because I know for a fact that in times of when I am agitated and ungrounded and driving, I'm sorry to say it, but it happens.
Yes.
Michael's proven to me time and time again that he has got me.
Yes. Yes. And there are other times when the accident happens because it's meant to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
All right. But yes, I think he's pretty busy just with me. Forget the rest of you. And he can be everywhere at once. And I'm sure a lot of his energy goes to me. All right. Whew, so we open. Whew, I started grounding already.
Me too.
Yes. So there's always an intent. Oh, well, okay. I'm not going to. I open this beautiful sacred space between everyone listening. No matter when you're listening, you are part of this sacred space. You are part of this circle of like-minded spiritual beings living this human life, that all coming together today to talk to us, to share, and to learn from each other. So as we open this space, we also ground. Some of you may need a new grounding cord, and one will be put in for you as we ground deep into the earth and anchor in. When that earth energy comes up, it just keeps going and it opens up all of our channels. And we set this beautiful space at that of love. And so it is. That was a little short one. Yes, Mari-Lyn.
It was short, but that was
powerful.
Or
you were just so out that just coming back in. Could be
it was as you said, as that earth energy comes up, it just keeps going, and I felt like this whoosh.
Whoosh. Yeah.
Channels open.
Woohoo! Hello. That's one of those ding. Hello. I'm here.
Like a bright light. Like, okay.
Yes. So if any of you are wondering, why are they opening space? And I'm going to say it again, just because in case you missed the one when we talked about this, we always open space. I said always. And sometimes we forget, or sometimes our space is already open because we've been doing other things.
True.
But we decided to do opening of space and getting everyone grounded while, at the beginning of our podcast. The reason being that when you're open, when you're grounded, and we're all in circle together, you will receive the information that you need, regardless of what we're saying. So part of it is, yes, what we're saying, but we could talk for an hour and maybe there was really only one piece in there that you really needed, and you're going to get that piece. Or something we say triggers something else. Ooh, triggers. This is they're all good triggers, but something else comes from it. Allows spirit to give you what you need through this process.
Exactly.
So that's why we do it. And that's why we started. And we've had some really nice response from it. So, and here you go. If you're on YouTube, please drop some comments. Let us know what you think of this. We've had a couple people do that. We'd like to hear from more of you. So drop some comments if you like this. If it's helpful, give us your take on it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, we would love to know.
Yes, and subscribe to our channel and and that'll help it get around too. The whole algorithm thing.
That whole algorithm thing is beyond my brain capacity.
And the same thing I think happens because we're everywhere a podcast now.
We are.
And growing, which is really beautiful. We want it to grow more. Yes. So I think even on some of the podcasts, you can subscribe to us. You can still like it, give different stars, do all things. That would really be appreciated, because that does help us get out there more. It helps the algorithms. Wow, my nose is itchy all of a sudden. What is happening? I don't know.
It could be the smoke we're having in the area from the forest fires.
Yes.
Could be. My eyes right now itch like crazy.
Yeah.
So
wonder if the wind just shifted and
that
direction.
Could be. There is a little bit of wind out there.
Yeah, could have just shifted or something. But anyway, it also every time now if we were in a clearing right now or a healing of paranormal and my nose itches, that's immediately the smell test for me. That's immediate when I go, does this smell right? Because maybe there's someone, something's happening and we're not getting the right information, and it's like, it's not passing the smell test. You need to look again, or you need to, something again. But I don't think that's happening right now. So I think it's the same.
I don't think so. Because for me, itching on my face is something low vibrational is hanging around.
Right. Of course, now I want to itch.
Unless, of course, somebody that's watching us happens to have activity in their home and they're thinking about contacting us.
TCSEverydayPsychics.com.
So if that perked up your ears and you think you might have activity in your home.
Yes.
People who don't have activity don't have those thoughts.
No.
So please reach out to us. Absolutely. Somebody out there needed to hear that. I think that's what our itching was about.
Very good. Absolutely. Yep. All those things match the nose, the everything. Yeah.
And imagine that. My itching is gone.
Okay, it is paranormal. You were dead on with that. Yep. One of you has activity. Could also be an office space. If you're listening to this,
absolutely,
you're at work, something like that. Yeah. So reach out and I know that can be tricky because you'd have to get permission from whoever, either the owner of the building or the manager on duty, someone who has a authority over the space. And sometimes
Right.
that can be hard to go to some, but you know what? Very often, if you're thinking there's activity, there are other people in the office who are thinking.
There are absolutely other
Yeah.
people.
And what's coming now, and when someone poo-poos it, you can say, okay, well, then it wouldn't hurt if we called these ladies in, right?
Right.
Like, okay, you don't believe it, we do, so why not? Not gonna hurt anything.
Yep.
We've had clients have to say those types of things, you know, sort of challenge the person that is
Yes.
the poo-pooer of
Poo-pooer.
the poo-pooer of paranormal. Yes, it happens. So wow, yeah, there's a oh, wow, when we opened, didn't we?
Yep, we sure
There's a kitty cat. I can't quite, I don't see in color, so that's always hard for me. It's a lighter colored kitty cat, you know, a house cat or something, and he needs to go to the vet. He's got something going on. I don't want to say what, but there looks like some health issues. Like he's real thin, like he needs to get to the vet. So I don't know who this beautiful kitty belongs to. And I think you probably already know that needs to happen. And if you're worried about the money, check around. There are places that will help people who don't quite have the money. And right now it's really hard. I mean, shit's expensive right now.
Woo.
Like inflation is real, my friend.
Yes, it is.
Things are expensive. Man, it used to be you could go to the grocery store, you get a couple bags for under $50. Now it's 100. And it's like, wow, things just went.
The last time I went shopping, averaged $45 a bag.
Yes. Oh, it is just horrific. Yes, it's awful. So
it is.
I don't want to go there. Sorry if I upset anyone, but yeah,
it'll come back around. It always does.
It will. And look, and okay, so all right. So the reason for all that is when you trust in spirit, something needs to be done. You have a kitty, you need to get to the vet, you have other things going on. Remember that when you allow yourself to be led by spirit, you will always have what you need. You will always have what you need. So, and that has been proven to me, I don't know how many times. Oh yeah. Right? Yeah. I remember during COVID lockdowns, because we're here in a crazy town where they had to do the lockdown stuff, and people stopped coming. Like that was our business, was in-person business.
Yep.
And I was scared. I know Mari-Lyn was as well, but I'll speak for myself. I was scared, like where the hell is it? I had the money to pay the bills every month.
Me too.
You too. And we would be in awe. We would be amazed. Every month we had the money because we trusted spirit. We said, okay, spirit, if this is where we're supposed to be, you led us here. You guided us here to work together. And we had no idea COVID was coming. So we had an expensive, beautiful place. And, more expensive than we would have chosen had we known COVID was coming. Right?
And another factor in there.
Oh, yeah. And her who decided just to up and leave. And leave us with some rent. But it worked out. We had the money every month. We never once didn't have it.
Never.
Not once.
Never.
Yeah.
We never went without anything that whole time. No. And just listening to you talk to it, man, I'm so filled with gratitude.
Right. Me too.
Belief of how we actually made it through that time.
Oh, man.
And how much healing and bonding that we did. And the beautiful space that we created in that time. So when we did
I
finally
miss it.
were able to open our doors,
Yeah.
it was like
Yes.
people walked in and it's like, oh
Uh,
wow, okay, can I just sit down and visit for a while?
yes, people did that all the time. Right off the street, they would come in
Yep.
and ask if because it would just draw them in. Yes.
Yep.
And
It
then
was
there was
so
what's coming
beautiful.
to me, there was that period of time where we were like so confused. It's like there were so many people who were in such fear. Like we lost clients because they were in such fear. Now,
Right.
thankfully, not all of our clients, but
Right.
there were. We had to make the switch to go online. That's when we started the YouTube channel, and we started doing more online because I mean, our healings and readings, they were all in person. We had some online, don't misunderstand me, but we never thought of ourselves as doing this entirely online. That was never
No.
crossed my mind.
Well,
Never.
I don't, at the time, I don't think I ever did anything online
No,
at that time.
at that time. Yeah.
What I was doing was in person.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Because I started my business online. And when I got my first space before you and I met, I vowed I am never going online again. I love this in-person stuff. It's not happening. And so really it was my ego. It was that contract I made. It was really a
oh,
contract,
right.
right? And I had to break that energetic contract to come back online again. Because it was, yeah, did that just, you just shook your head.
I did. I just got showed, okay, so see how simple it is to make a contract with yourself? See
Yes.
how easy it is to put a block in your
Yep.
path to
Absolutely.
keep you from moving forward
Yep.
just because you got irritated one day and you
Yep.
said, okay, I'm never going to golf again.
Yes. Right. Oh, yeah. There's a
Yep.
story.
I mean, that's an old story, but
But you created a contract,
I did.
just as I did when I said I will never go back online again because I loved the in-person stuff.
Right. And for you,
Yeah.
going online meant going backwards.
Yes, that's exactly what it felt. Yeah. Or what it meant. It didn't feel, I can't say it felt like I went to say I felt, and it was different when I went back online. I was not on YouTube prior to that. I was not, yeah. And I mean, I had, like I had Dan, she's in Sweden, we're in the United States. And I had a few people around that obviously had to be online. I kept them, they didn't leave me, but when I said I'm never going, I meant I'm not getting anyone new online again, never. I'll keep my old people and everything. I had to energetically, and I remember what's coming now was, I don't know if I looked at it that way at the time because I remember doing and I don't remember stuff, just so y'all.
No.
Yeah. And we sort of did I'm not sure if healing is the correct term, but we did something sort of setting of intentions and whatever. And I remember that lifting from me. And then we started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We have had so many different starting over again. So many firsts together.
Many firsts. Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm not sure how we went. Oh, it's those contracts. So
yeah,
maybe that's a good topic because we didn't really pick a topic. I mean, we kind of had one, but that went out the window as soon as we opened space. Right? Didn't it?
Kind of did.
Yes, we were going to talk about triggers, and I wrote it down, but it's like, oh, that doesn't. I mean, we might get around to it, but
so
no, it actually goes together.
It does.
It
absolutely does, because we get triggered. Yep. We get triggered by, whatever the fear of going backwards.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And making that simple statement, I'm never going back online again.
Huh?
Boom, contract.
Contract created. There you are.
Woo! Just that fast.
Yes.
Just that fast.
Yep. And when I would think about going, I would get triggered. It took me months of spirit telling me, you need to go online. And the way it was, and however it was presented to me, I was like, nope, 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 not. I would get triggered. And then one day, I don't know what we were doing, and it was like, oh, the reaction. I think because my husband loves those reaction videos where they react to like music of the 70s and
Old music, yeah.
and yeah, because I mean, God, that was such great rock and roll. Holy moly. And I think he even said to me one day, why don't you react to do some sort of reaction video or something? I think that, or I talked to him about whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was definitely spirit speaking through him. And then I mentioned it to you, and you were immediately like, yeah. And it still took us a couple months to get to it.
It did.
Because we were scared.
It did. We had to wrap our heads around
Oof.
what
Yeah.
the heck? What does that even mean? What does that even look like?
So we did some little readings. We were just trying to do anything to kind of get us to get comfortable talking to a camera. It's really different. It
Oh my
really
God.
is. Yeah.
It's so
really
scary.
Yeah. Then we did some meditations because that's what I do. That's easy peasy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What a ride.
That was wild. Yeah.
But we listened. It may have taken us a while. And those of you who know me, I argue with Fred all the time. I'm constantly arguing with him. He tells me to do things and I argue with him when I should know better. Just listen and just do it the first time. Just save yourself so much heartache and just dumbness that
I gotta say though, at least you argued back. I just ignored. Just ignored.
Cowboy comes up and you're like, yeah, not today, Cowboy. Man. Not happening.
Then he'd get tired of it, and so he'd go talk to Pam, and Pam would be like, all right,
yeah,
listen up, Mari-Lyn.
Yes. And the same is true the other way around. Yes. And that's something too for all of us to remember. You can meet someone, you could just meet someone on the street and they tell you something and it rings so true for you. Spirit goes through whatever means they need to go through to get that message to you.
Yep.
Sometimes they do it through someone you don't like. And so your first reaction is, F you, man, I'm not listening to you. Like say that one bitch at work that, if you work in it, we've all, Mari-Lyn and I do not work in an office anymore, but we've all done it, right? And there's always the one bitch that is just nasty and mean. And I just got the hit that someone out there that's listening is that person at work. But
I've been that person.
Oh, you're the one I'm talking about.
It could be. I have been that person. Yes, I have.
Yes. Well,
and if anybody out there is listening and I was that person where you worked, I apologize.
And you are not the same woman today.
I am not. But I also want to say, and you're welcome if I triggered you.
Yes. Hopefully they took that trigger and did something with it.
Yeah.
But there we are.
Honestly, we do trigger people.
Yeah.
And so much good can come out of it.
So much.
If they're in the place of learning and expanding and trusting spirit.
Yes.
You get triggered by somebody, and that is a beautiful opportunity to heal.
Yes.
So
yes, if you allow it. And please allow it. And it's hard. And we're not making this sound like it's so easy, because we know it's not. there are times when it's like, I don't want to look at myself. I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing. It's all them, that sort of indignation and that whatever.
And
And
that comes even after years of healing.
oh, yes, it does.
Because
Yeah.
humaning is hard. I don't care.
Yes. And then what thankfully, very thankfully comes though after years of healing is you listen. So when you get that indignation thing happening and you're like, I didn't do anything, it's all them, blah, 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 blah. And you're just set in that, no, it's 100% that whatever you do after a little bit, it could be a couple hours that night, the next day, you do listen and you go, oh, okay, there is something here. Like you really do have a chance to see it from the angle of how this can benefit you
Absolutely.
and how you can remove that person from the equation so it's not triggering and you just, okay, this is the piece I need to work on. And then you work on it. And I mean, that's happened with me, that people that I don't care if I ever speak to again in my whole life. And so it's not like I'm running out going, hey, I just want to thank you for triggering me. You don't have to. I do thank their higher self, however. I usually do that. But anyway, so that part does come with healing though.
Yes.
That yes, you still get triggered. Yes, you still get whatever. And I'm saying within 24 hours, you usually, get the whole, okay.
And sometimes it's instant, right?
Yes.
That indignation hits and it's like, ooh.
Wow. F.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. I hear you. I hear you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And then there's those contracts that were made. I'm going to walk that right back to those contract things because I think there are people out there that want to hear about
I agree.
Contract things. Yes, they can be made that easily when and you could also call it karma contract, and karma can really be those words can really be interchangeable at times. They're not always the same thing, but it can be a karmic connection. So really it's whatever you want to call it. That connection will be made. It gets anchored in and you have to unanchor it to move forward.
Yes.
When you know something is the right thing and you just can't seem to get yourself over it, there's probably something there. There's an anchor in there. There's a contract. You created some karma, something. Yes.
Yeah.
But woof. Yes.
And those contracts can be made like with ourselves, like what we've talked about. But they can be made with another person that easy.
Yeah.
Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes, ma'am.
They really can be made that easy. And
they need to be broken.
They do. What's coming? If that knowledge of contracts can be made if more awareness can come around.
Yes.
That making of contracts, what a difference that could make throughout humankind.
Oh boy. Yes. I agree. Yes. Because when we get there's a stubbornness to it. When it usually if it has to do with another person, woo, the stubbornness can come. The ego, the wounding that's attached to it, all of that can really, and there's a thing there. So we actually kind of were talking about this a little bit earlier, maybe not quite in these terms, but when we are doing paranormal work and there is a really nasty entity who wants to kill me, literally wants to kill me. Those are the type of beings that I that I get to work with, and that's what I'm here to do. I have to, and I do. I I find I stay in love, and I always give them a chance to heal. I always give them a chance to, they have an option. They can't, they're always going to be leaving with someone. Let me say, we don't just throw them out the door and say, go away. But
No, ma'am.
but we
Leave
always,
them out there to go haunt somebody else.
yeah, no, sorry.
No.
No. But that option is always on the table. That compassion that I have at those times, even for the nastiest creatures who literally want to kill me, they want to torture me, they want to hurt me, hurt my family, whatever. And I have compassion for them. When
Yep.
dealing with a human person, I do not have that compassion. I've never had a human person want to kill me before that I know of. But I've never had, that to that extent, except for Mari-Lyn. But but it's hard to find that with a human being. There are people who have hurt me, who have done me wrong, and Mari-Lyn has met a few of them, because I really can trigger people as part of being a healer. But I want nothing to do with those people. So it's much harder to find that compassion. So in times like that, if you have created a contract or some karma or something, there, remember that it's really about you and what you're holding on to. And it doesn't mean that you have to go to that person and say, if you've done something wrong, apologizing for your piece of it is always the right thing to do. However, sometimes that person can make that so very difficult. That's just not going to happen. There are other ways to apologize to that person, to break that contract, to pull up those anchors, and to heal for yourself.
Yes.
But we do get very stubborn sometimes. If it's someone that we don't like, that really hurt us, I can think of a couple people. Well, no, I can think of one person, just one. and I want nothing to do with her. And it wouldn't go over well anyway. Like going to her and apologizing.
No.
Hell no. Maybe someday, but she'd have to reach out to me, and I would be open to her reaching out to me to apologize. She's got a lot to apologize for. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know how we got there, but that's where I went.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have energetically apologized.
I've done a lot of work with that
for a few things that you were aware of and that you knew of.
Yes.
And there are so many options. We have so many options available to us.
Yes.
In that area of forgiveness,
yes,
of apologies, of amends,
yes,
of just standing in our own power.
Yes.
Standing in our dignity and in our humility. There's so many different options than being face to face with that person, because sometimes that's not safe.
Correct. I'm going to use the example of my mother who had dementia.
Oh.
There was nothing I could do. I couldn't go to her. First of all, she didn't even remember who I was at the end. The last couple of years, she didn't know. So how do you go to someone like that and you can't get anything from them? So that would be one example. There's nothing at that point you can do. You could apologize all you want, but it's really not going anywhere. So you have to use other means.
Right.
To do that. Yeah.
And
I think why I think that other person, why that came up today is because there was someone who was friends with both of us. And neither one of them treated me terrific. This person actually came back and apologized to me. It was beautiful. And I absolutely open arms. Absolutely. And then I apologize for my part of it, because there's always a my part of it.
Always.
Yes.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
Doesn't
no.
matter the circumstances.
So
It
but
takes two
that
people.
brought
Yeah.
up a lot of stuff, as you know, Mari-Lyn.
Yeah.
Whew, for a week or so, I've had some stuff to deal with.
It did. And I want to say, and in this instance, a beautiful testament to the healing that you've done, because
Oh,
some
yes,
of the stuff that came up was coming up so you could release it.
yes, yes. And this happened about 5 years ago, the actual incident where I was no longer friends. Even up until probably, I think maybe within the last year, I would have been as open as I am today. I don't know before that would I have been. I really don't know. It's possible I would have. Don't know.
Yeah.
But a lot of healing had to be done. And damn it, you think you healed it all, and then something comes along. But see how beautiful triggers are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Triggers are absolutely an
Yes.
opportunity for healing, for more healing,
Absolutely.
for purging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoo-wee. Yes. So I'm very grateful. And if I never hear from her again, I mean, I would like to, but if I don't, I am very grateful that not only did she step forward and apologize so we could break that contract and that karma that was created.
Right.
It triggered some deeper stuff in me that I now get to heal. So I will always be grateful for that. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It is.
So should we
I have to say, though, the feeling I get is that you are going to hear from her again.
Good. I hope so.
Just have to
We'll
throw
see.
that out there. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll see. We will see. So triggers. We did come around to that original what we wanted.
Well, and triggers and contracts go so beautifully hand in
Yes,
hand.
they do. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Beautifully in a very
way.
Unproductive and
Yeah.
they're very
no one likes to be triggered.
No, but triggers and contracts are very codependent.
Yes. Oof. Ouch. That word, that codependent word. Yes.
I mean, they don't have to be, but oh boy, they sure can be.
Codependence is so much more it's so much more out there I can't think of that word I'm trying to get to. It's more invasive.
It's invasive. It
yes.
is so invasive.
And everyone has some codependence. So if anyone out there's saying, I don't know how to, yes. Yes, you do. There is an area in your life, I guarantee you, because it's part of the collective, what we're all trying to heal and get more information on and to understand and to get clarity on. And it's a human condition. It's one of those human conditions. Yes. But so triggers are different for everyone. And then even with that person, sometimes it could be we talk about like fight or flight, freeze or fawn, but those can really be four separate ways that we react when a trigger happens.
Yes, absolutely.
And they can all within the same person. There are times when I get triggered that I want to beat the hell out of someone, and other times where I just collapse in on myself. Both of those are a trigger.
Yes. How about those times when you're triggered and that limbic system response changes?
To
like it continually changes, like you're hit with
I see what you're saying.
You're hit with freeze. Okay, and you freeze, and then you have to run, and then all of a sudden you're kicking and screaming and biting and clawing, and then the next thing you know, you're groveling at the person's feet.
Oh dear God. Yes.
I hate to say it, but I've experienced a trigger where I have experienced every one of those. I mean, like within a short period of time. It's so confusing.
That is when it's really anchored into, in my opinion, your nervous system. As a healer, that's when when someone says that to me, it's like, okay, we need to look at your nervous system here because there's something, and you'll see it all the way down their spine, this anchored. Yeah.
And it's usually deep.
Woof.
Deep.
That's some real childhood trauma stuff. That's stuff that's probably come in through lifetime. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, as a matter of fact, yes. As we just experienced in my healing the other day. Yes.
Yes.
Was. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So
yes.
It may be, so on the, with triggers, yes, it can be as big as that. We know when someone freaks out and there's this huge reaction, everyone knows, she's triggered. Like sometimes we even almost kind of laugh at it, where it's not a laughing matter at all. But I think that's part of just kind of the scariness of it. If when someone loses it like that, I do think sort of we do tend, it's a communal thing or whatever. We sort of laugh at it, and it's no laughing matter. It really isn't.
It isn't. But
there's also that person that looks really grounded and is just standing there and not reacting. That person could be triggered too. That one's harder to notice.
Yes.
But some people get really quiet and they don't react because most likely they were taught if you react, something worse is coming to you. So you just go silent. You get still and you appear that nothing is bothering you. That we all have that trigger as well.
And you talk about a contract being written right there.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Yes, ma'am.
When a child is told, you get that.
Yes.
You get that anger under control, or else.
Yes.
Well,
or
not only
you get your ass back here and you stand, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I just saw this little kid like take off running and the parent just like yelled, you get yourself back here. Mm-hmm. So both of those, yes. So, contracts happen. That happens a lot when we're children. We break those as healers. We break those contracts all the time. That's something that
all the time. That is part of
the amount of anchors we've taken out. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing.
It is
a beautiful thing. Yeah. And then all the stuff that goes along with it, the adopted thinking and behaviors, and oh my goodness, the amount that goes along with that. But those are triggers. And when we do get triggered, it really is an opportunity, just like Mari-Lyn says, it's such an opportunity for us to heal something. So if that does happen to you, or you find yourself being really ingratiating to someone who's just, let's say a boss or something, who's just an asshole, and you find yourself like wanting to please them or appease them or whatever that is, that ingratiating thing, pretty much you've got a trigger there, my friend. And that's something to look at. Yes. And let's not forget about the embarrassment sometimes that will come after. That sometimes there's shame, sometimes there's guilt, sometimes there's embarrassment, or all the above. Yes. And that's a natural part of the healing process.
It is. It absolutely is. Mm-hmm. And after that, when we can find our way through that embarrassment and that shame and that guilt and let it go, then comes that self-forgiveness.
Yes.
And with the self-forgiveness comes the self-love and the self-respect and the dignity and the humility. And
sometimes
all of that.
Sometimes the forgiving what isn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's in there. It's very different each time, but those ones that you said, those are the major steps. Yes. And then there's other times when there's other ones stuck in there. They're sort of poking out around it.
Yep.
Yes.
They just got kind of shoved in like a bouquet. Oh, there's room for some, there's room for some valor. There's room for forgiveness. There's room for
yes. Yes.
Spirit likes to fill us up.
Woof.
Always fills us up when we allow healing and release, and
Yeah,
we're always left full.
always. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yes. So what came to me when you were talking, sorry, there's someone who is struggling with some self-worth issue. Well, aren't we all? But what came is there's someone sort of struggling with this self-worth, wondering if, and I know this one well, I do, because I've the self-worth around being liked. That is such a huge one. We get that all the time, not with just with ourselves, but our clients, students. I mean, it's being liked. And there's that, I guess this is part of that fawn one. So that's what's coming up, is there's yeah, if you find yourself walking past 3 people who want to be your friend, to make friends with that 4th person who really could care less if you're there or not, there's some trauma there.
Oof.
There's some real, that's what's coming through. So whoever you are, we see you, and you're beautiful just the way you are, and this is wounding, and you don't, please,
Oh,
that worth, whether it's through,
yeah.
whatever kind of healer you need to go to. Yeah.
I can see them walking by those first 3 people because they don't feel worthy of those people.
Yep. It's that one that's not paying attention to them.
That one that
There's also, oh, go ahead.
the one that needs more healing than anybody else.
Yes.
That you feel that's all you're worth.
Yes.
Is someone that's so broken.
Yep. And that shows not only your trauma, but it shows that other person's trauma. Right? So that's part of it too. When here's something. We've all experienced this. Someone walks up to you and you immediately hate them. You're like, oh, I don't like that person. And there's no reason. Someone might even ask you, well, why did you respond that way? Why did you? I don't know. I just don't like them. There's an icky vibe there or something. That's something to look into. We have that. Sometimes could that person really be like a dangerous person? Absolutely. But that's a different feeling than this. Yes. When you get that feeling, there's typically something there. That person just walked up and was a mirror to you, and something just shined right back on you. And that's always something to look into. Yeah. And that's really just as powerful as the one that walks up to you and you're just like, fawning all over the person, trying to get their attention. That's another mirror. There's something there that you're connecting with. It could be either a trauma bond, something that you really want to be, or something, that you just, something needs some work in there.
Something needs something.
So I'm talking to somebody, and so please, look into that. Allow yourself the honor to look into yourself. We are all so much bigger than this body. We are all so much bigger than this lifetime.
It's a beautiful gift to give yourself, to really look in.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And I wish there were, I wish there were some other, like, I often think, man, can we give people, through our experience of doing all the healing, can we give them some nuggets of, oh, this is what you need to do. If you just did this, these are some steps you can take to get there. And there's really not, as far like, learn to ground, to get real to get clarity and to really look at yourself, to be really honest. Be honest and find a professional to help you.
Yeah.
You know, not just the friend who's going to tell you what you want to hear. You know, we've talked about that many a times. That's not the one that you want to go to. You want to go to the one like Mari-Lyn, who just looks at me and goes, really? You think that's what it is? That's what you're sticking with? Okay.
That's your story, huh?
Yes. Damn it. We talk about it all the time. Mari-Lyn does the shit out of each other all the time. And it's a good thing. And we're
It
still,
is a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, when you said be honest,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that honesty for a minute,
Yes, please.
Because we can take honesty to a level where it becomes dishonest.
Yes, ma'am.
It becomes brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be such a fan of brutal honesty,
Mm-hmm.
and I would out myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it became berating myself.
Yes.
It became taking full responsibility when in reality, I was only partially responsible.
Yes.
I would take other people's lessons from them left and right.
Oh boy, howdy. Mm-hmm.
All in the name of honesty. Well, to hide my codependency, but it was still in the name of honesty. I thought if I was brutally honest on myself, that would help me heal.
Yes.
And it really didn't. In some points, it really hindered my healing.
Also, when people want to say something to someone, and well, I'm just being honest. It's like, right. You're not being honest, because really you just wanted to hurt that person. You wanted to be nasty and mean, and no, right. That's no. So the intention behind the honesty, yes, it really dictates, yes, whether it's honest or not. Did you and I have that conversation, or did I just have that conversation with a client? I don't know. Must have been a client. Yesterday, I think I had that conversation with a client about honesty and the intention behind it. And if your intention is to be honest to hurt them, then that's not honesty at all. Yeah. That's so interesting that you said that. I think I'm psychic or something. How weird. Something. I don't know. So when topics like that come up repeatedly over a course of days, it's important. Yes, there's something there to talk about. Yeah. Which brings me to something that I didn't say and I wanted to, but I chose not to, and I'm going to now. Okay. My truth used to be the most beautiful expression, beautiful, like, what is your truth? That was so, oh my God, that was beautiful. That was, as a healer, I would use that and it meant something. Now it's just a pile of shit. Like, this is my truth. You know, people want to get away with something, or they don't want to really look at themselves. They want to bypass. Well, this is my truth. And you can see the indignation. Yes. Or and what do you say when someone says that? It shuts the conversation off right there. Well, this is my truth. There's nowhere it is. So I'm not sure that word that I'm looking for, but disingenuous might be a good word. It has become, I was thinking offensive, but yeah, that too. That too. That used to be such a beautiful term. Yeah. Find your truth. Be in your truth. And it has just blossomed into this ugly thing. When someone uses that term with me, I'm like, nah, no, no, because you're hiding something with now that,
Yeah.
and it was such a beautiful, there are many terms, I can't think of them at the moment, but I know there are many terms where that has happened with. They have gotten so, no, there is a truth that might be your version, and it doesn't mean that it is the truth, and you're hiding behind it and whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I
Right.
had to admit, because I wanted to say that, but I said honesty instead. You know, to
Okay.
get honest with yourself. But I wanted to say, what is the truth? What is the, it's not my truth, your truth, what is the truth?
What is the truth?
What is
Yeah.
the truth? And that's one of those things you look in the mirror and that's the truth right there. Yeah,
Oof.
that's what's being shown to me right now is
Yeah.
like, is that what you're going to see when you look in the mirror?
Yeah.
Because that's the truth right there. Yeah. So that saying, I loved that saying, and they mucked it up somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere someone did, and it's not nice.
Darn them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, so how you know, or what do you do? I know that this sounds like I'm just like plugging my own stuff, but I have started putting meditations, weekly meditations. I think there are 4 Sunday ones, and then there's a couple in the middle, because if I get, something happens, I'll throw another one in there. These are not your regular guided meditations.
No, they're not.
These really get in deep and show you your stuff, and they will trigger the hell out of you. They will. My students listen to them, and I will get messaging from my students. Wow, that one triggered me. And so I'm thinking, oh, people who are just listening and are not a student, they're being triggered too, and maybe they don't know. But those guided meditations, learning how to get grounded, learning how to look in that mirror is what I would say if you want to start healing, or how do you heal these particular things. Allowing yourself to see the truth is what just came through. That's how you heal.
Mhm.
That's how you heal. And then even on top of that, to go further, to find a professional to help. And however that looks for you, whatever, a professional is for you. And that's how you heal. And it's worth it. And I can tell you it's beyond worth it.
Beyond. It's priceless.
Yes.
It really is. You can't put a price tag
Mhm.
on the growth and the expansion and the peace of mind
Yes.
that comes from healing.
It's invaluable.
Mhm.
And it's what we're here to do. Spiritually, here's another thing, because this just came in. People who are wondering, how do I get on we're always on our journey, that, we're always on our path, but how do I become a conscious spirit on my journey? How do I do that?
Yeah.
You heal. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. You heal. And as you heal, if you're wanting to be, a psychic or a something, you have to heal. I'm going to say that's not exactly true. There are people who develop without the healing, and I would never go to one of those people. You're not touching my energy. Not. They're not going to be clear, beautiful messaging. It's not going to be truthful. It's just not, no. So yeah, you can develop, sure, but you're not going to be a well-rounded person. You're not going to be happy.
Right.
That's for sure. I've known, and I do know, so does Mari-Lyn, psychics who just developed without the healing, and they're all, oh, I mean, la, 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 la. They're these, you meet them and you think, wow, those are happy people. And they sure know a lot. And they are, when that door closes and the lights go off, they are one miserable person. Yes. Somebody needed to hear that. Sorry, I went off on that little tangent there.
Behind the curtain is
Yes. Yes. No bueno. Look at me and my Spanish. Yes. Anyway, are we done?
I
think so.
This might be a good place to wrap up. Yeah.
We want to thank you all. We really do appreciate everyone that tunes in. We hope you like this. Let me close space real quick. Yeah. So we're just gonna, we just want to close this space in gratitude and honor for everyone that's here. We're just gonna ground out this space, and all of the different energies just ground right out, bring us back to our own personal space and our own personal bubbles, and grounded. Whoo, sort of bring that down. There we go. We thank you all for tuning in. And again, if you're on YouTube, please drop some comments. If you're not, or I guess even if you are, tcseverydaypsychics.com will get you to us if you want to send us an email.
It will. If you
want to know about our personal services, they're all there.
They are. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, all of that good stuff. Just getting the message out of healing and everything else.
Yes.
All of it.
All of it. All of it. And we are just very grateful that you tuned in.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Very much.
And we are the Conscious Spirit Podcast. So we have 2 YouTube channels.
This is true.
TCS Everyday Psychics, excuse me, is mostly a paranormal, spiritual. And then the Conscious Spirit Podcast is this plus all those beautiful meditations that come out every Sunday.
Yeah.
That they're really healing and very helpful. So
they are beautiful.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
Till next time.
Love you all. Bye.